we just took the Unit 2 quiz over triangles, and now we're moving on to the next thing, guys, in geometry. We are in Unit 3. Today we're going to talk about polygons. So polygons, this is just a fancy word that talks about shapes with straight sides.
Calculator.
Yes, you can use a calculator. There's a bunch of them over by in the computer part. Yes. So let's see, polygons. This is just going to be shapes with straight sides. So a circle, for example, does not have straight sides. It technically is not a polygon. It will have its own category. But this is going to be any closed shape with straight sides. I forgot to write that. It is day 16, isn't it? Day 16. Polygons. Any closed shape with straight sides. So a triangle is a polygon. That's any shape with 3 sides. The next polygon that we are going to focus on today is a shape with 4 sides, and that is called a quadrilateral. So we're going to write that word down. Quad, meaning 4, Quadrilateral, quadrilateral. Okay. So quadrilaterals, we'll put a little definition for them. This will be a polygon that has 4 sides and 4 angles. Now, a quadrilateral doesn't just have to be a square, a rectangle, the normal shapes you're used to. It can be any shape at all with 4 sides and 4 angles. So, for example, let me get a ruler. I'm going to draw some things. I'm actually going to use this because it's shorter. For example, this is your most classic quadrilateral you'll see. I'm going to draw a rectangle first. Here's my rectangle. 4 sides, 4 angles. And there's something special about the angles in a rectangle. How many degrees do you think each angle is?
90.
90, exactly. So I have 4 90-degree angles. Okay. This would be, like we said, a rectangle. I will label that on the side. RECTANGLE. So a rectangle has 4 sides, 4 90-degree angles, and something that is always true about a rectangle is that the opposite sides will be the same length always. So how can we mark that side lengths are the same?
Those little, what are they called?
those little dashes, those
Yeah,
little
there you
tick
go.
marks. So I'm gonna put one tick mark on the shorter sides.
And then two.
Yes, two tick marks on the longer sides, because we don't know that they're equal exactly, but the opposite sides are equal. So 4 90-degree angles and opposite. So opposite sides are equal. Now with triangles, one of the first things that we started talking about was interior angles, the angles inside of the shape. In a rectangle, what are these interior angles going to add up to if I have 4 90-degree angles? Interior. I want you guys to see if you can figure out what do the interior angles add up to. $360. Good. 360 degrees. So, rectangles, 4 90-degree angles. Opposite angles are equal, and the interior angles add up to 360 degrees. That 360 degrees will actually be true for every quadrilateral, every four-sided shape. So we have a rectangle. Another type of quadrilateral that we will be focusing on likely the most today is called a parallelogram. It's very similar to a rectangle, but it's like it's tilted. So what we'll do now is I'm going to start with a base, a bottom line, and I'm going to make that base roughly, say, 2.5 inches. I'm going to do 2 inches. Okay. So I've got my base here. Now a parallelogram, what I'm going to do is instead of drawing a opposite side right across from it, from the base, I'm going to slide my measurement over just a little bit. And I'm going to draw another line the same length parallel to this line, but not directly over the top. So let's move it over just slightly, line it up on that blue line, and I'm going to draw another 2-inch line like this. So you have 2 lines slightly different from the others. Okay. And then we're just going to connect the end points like this on both sides. So making my 3rd side here and my 4th side here. Just like that. Now, a parallelogram clearly does not have 4 90-degree angles. This is a little bit different. But what it does have is opposite angles that are equal to each other. So we can mark that by drawing arcs. I'm going to start with my smaller angle right here and give it 1 arc. And its opposite angle, as it's the same, will also get 1 arc. Then I'll go to my larger angles and I'll draw 2 arcs. Okay, so off to the side, I'm going to put that my opposite angles are equal. The angles are equal. What about my opposite sides? Are they still going to be equal?
Yes.
Yes, they are. Just like a rectangle. The sides didn't change, they just shifted over. The lengths stayed the same. So our opposite sides are still equal. And then we'll mark those with tick marks just like the rectangle. It's like that. Now let's talk about the interior angles of this shape. What do you think these are going to add up to, 4 angles? Notice that these opposite angles got bigger, so they're no longer 90, they're more than 90. But the other opposite angles got smaller, so they're less than 90. So whatever was gained on the bigger angles was lost on the smaller angles. Do you think that the sum of the interior angles will change or stay the same? Any guesses? We're just not sure. What do you think?
It's gonna be 360.
Yes, it's going to stay 360. Every single quadrilateral that has 4 sides and 4 angles, its interior angles will always, no matter what, add up to 360 degrees. And then I'm going to label on the side here that this is a parallelogram. So Parallelograms. Parallelogram. Thing else that I want to note on a rectangle and a parallelogram is not only are our opposite sides equal, our opposite sides are also parallel. Parallel, we can write with this symbol, just 2 lines like that. They're equal and parallel. Parallel meaning that they will never cross. They're going at the same angle. So to show that lines are parallel, we can draw little arrows on the lines like this. And it's going to be the same kind of concept as with tick marks and arcs. Only draw the same number of arrows on lines that are parallel to each other. So I put 1 arrow on each of the smaller sides. I put 2 on each of the larger sides. We can do the same with rectangles. Just like that. Looking at a rectangle, if my sides, or sorry, not my sides, if all my angles are 90 degrees, I know my opposite angles are equal. Actually, all of the angles are equal. But if I look at 2 angles that are right beside each other, those two angles would add up to 180 degrees. Believe it or not, it's going to be the exact same thing with a parallelogram. The two angles that are right beside each other are going to add up to 180 degrees. Now, let me show you a way to help us remember all the different relationships. What we're going to do is we're going to draw another parallelogram under this, but we're going to make it a little bit bigger, and we're going to work out a few sort of problems with it. So I am going to draw a line here in my notes, and I'm going to draw one more parallelogram. My side length about 2.5 inches. And then I'm going to connect the shorter sides here as well. And I'm going to label my angles on the outside here. A, B, C, D. So this would be angle A, this would be angle B, this would be angle C, this is angle D. So we can write a few different statements here. First, which angle would be equal to angle A?
C.
C. Good. So let's mark that. So angle A is equal to angle C. Which angle would be equal to B?
D.
D. Good. So angle B equal to angle D. So these angles are all interchangeable. If I gave you, for example now, given, let's say, angle A is 43 degrees. We're going to find angle B, angle C, and angle D. We can find all the other angles with just one angle. So,
Because C is going to be 43.
yes, angle C will also be 43 because A and C are equal. So let's go ahead and put that in. We know that C is 43. So I know angle C is 43 degrees.
And you know that all the interiors add up to 360.
Yeah, all of the interior angles add up to 360 degrees. So what could I do to find the other angles?
I mean, are we talking like the simple way, or do you want an equation?
However you would do it. It could be simple. It doesn't have to be hard.
Add up 43 and 43.
Okay. Let's do that. Add up 43 and 43.
Which leaves you with 86.
Gives me 86.
And then subtract 360 from 86.
Okay, so now I'll take 360 minus 86.
Which is going to give you 274.
So 274.
And then there's two angles, and they're both the same thing. So divide 274 by 2.
Yes. Okay, that is a really good way to do this. Now we could take 274, divide by 2. I haven't divided by hand in a while. Maybe I'll do that for fun today. Let's see, 2 goes into 2 one time to make 2. Bring down my 7. 2 goes into 7 3 times. 6. 1. Bring down my 4, and then it goes into 14 7 times to make 14. Okay, so
Yep.
137. That should be which angles?
Both.
Whole way of doing it.
Do you have a different way of doing it by hand? How do you do it?
Well, you just do the individual numbers. 200 divided by 2 is 100. 70 divided by 2 is 35.
You're
4
smart.
divided by 2 is 2.
You are
And then you
smart.
add those together.
That's really a smart way to do it. That's definitely a better way.
Unless you have a really long number. Then that
Right.
Smart.
Yes. Okay, so we found out that there was 86 degrees being taken up by the two angles we knew. If there's 360 total, let's just get rid of those 86 and see what's left over. There was 274 degrees left over, split up between angle B and D. Now, this is kind of the quick way of doing it, but I will show you a more formula type way to do this. So angle B would be, we said 137. And angle D would be 137. So let me show you a visual before I give you a formula. I'm going to use a clear sheet here. I'm going to trace my angles so that I can demonstrate something to you. Okay, so I've got this little piece of paper. It's not unclear. Okay, so I have angle A, which is 43 degrees. So let me just trace over my angle A here. A is 43 degrees. Look at how A is related to D. What do you think they add up to?
180.
180. That's another way we could do this. I know that angles that are, we'll say consecutive, meaning they come one right after the other, consecutive angles in a quadrilateral are supplementary, meaning they add up to 180 degrees. So something I can write over here is that A plus B is 180, or A plus D is 180. Or A plus, or I could do C plus B, C plus D. I can do any of the blue angles plus any of the orange angles, because those are equal. And they will add up to 180 degrees. So if I wanted to use this kind of formula here, I could say, well, I know angle A is 43, so let's plug that in for A. Bring down plus B equals 180. Okay. And then how would I solve this equation? 43 plus B equals 180.
Subtract 43.
Yes, subtract 43.
Your parentheses kind of threw me off.
Yes, the parentheses can definitely throw you off a little. That's just a placeholder. Okay, so I'll bring down my B equals 180 minus 43. We should get 137. And if angle B is equal to angle D, we just solved for both. So there you go. Quadrilaterals aren't too tough.
My way was simpler, but
And again, math is one of those things, as you get to this level, you can solve the same problem in about a million different ways. And they will all work as long as you do it correctly. So let's make one more note right here. I hope you left a little room. If you didn't, I'm sorry. Consecutive angles add up to 180. You got room?
It's about half the page.
Consecutive angles to 180. So over here where I said A plus B is 180, just to remind us what consecutive means. Angles that are right next to each other. Okay, so this is the basic idea of today's lesson. These concepts. Now we're going to make it harder. And before I move on, does anyone still need to copy any of this down? Oh, got it. Okay. All right, so I'm going to label this as page 1. I'm going to start a second page. Right. And before we start the second page, I'm going to pass out a worksheet to you guys so that you can see the problems I'm looking at. All right, so I just gave you all this worksheet. It says solve for x. Each figure is a parallelogram. So we just learned all of the different things we need to know about parallelograms and their angles. And we can use that information to help us with these problems. So I'm going to look at number 1. First thing that I like to do is mark my angles. I've got 8x plus 3, so I'm going to give that one arc. How is 8x plus 3 related to 105? Will they be equal, or will they add up to 180 degrees? Here's a good question. Are they opposite angles, or are they consecutive angles? So if we think about all those things, keep those in mind. This is where marking our picture can be helpful. I know L and N are across from each other, so they must be equal. So these can't be equal, can they? They must have different arcs, like that. So 8x plus 3 is not equal to 105. But I could write an equation using this fact here. Consecutive angles add up to 180 degrees. These angles are right next to each other, so they are consecutive angles. So I'm going to write a little note here. Consecutive. So if I know that angle L plus angle K equal 180 degrees.
The equation would be 8x plus 3 plus 105 equals 180.
Perfect. We'll just plug in the values. 8x plus 3 plus K is 105 equals 180. And we just solve the equation like normal. Okay, so I'll combine my like terms. I have 105 and 3, which should add up to 108. I'll bring everything down. 8x plus 108 equals 180. From there, we'll subtract 108.
Gives you 72.
We got 72. Okay, perfect. So now I have 8x equals 72.
Divide by 8.
Perfect. Divide by 8.
X equals 9.
X equals 9. Good. So we've solved for x. X equals 9. Could we go a step further and solve for the missing angles that we don't know? We have L, M, N, and K.
I mean, do we really have to solve because they're across from each other? So
Yeah, so we don't really have to solve for at least angle M. I'm just gonna write these here. No, angle is 105 because that was given to me. And what other angle is 105? Even across angle M. So let's write that. And there's two different ways that we could find angle L and angle N. We could use the X value that we found and plug it in. Let's try that first. I know L is 8x plus 3, and I know X is 9. So instead of 8x plus 3, we can write 8 times 9 plus 3. 8 times 9 is 72 plus 3, which is 75. So 75 would be the measure of angle L and angle N because those are equal, right? Oh. Is there another way I could solve for angle L and angle N without knowing X?
subtracting 210 from 360 because
I could subtract
divide by
210.
2.
Yeah, I could subtract 210 from 360, and you got that 210 from the 105 and 105. An even easier way, though, without having to divide by 2 at the end, is I know that consecutive angles add up to 180 degrees. So I could plug in, I know L plus K is 180. What if instead of plugging in 8x plus 3 plus 105 is 180, what if I just did L plus 105 equals 180? All I would have to do is subtract 105. And we get L equals 75. And angle L is equal to angle N. So I would have both of those values already done. So many different ways to do this. So many different ways. Okay. Let's look at number 2. Now, are these opposite angles or consecutive? Consecutive. Good. Consecutive. So, consecutive angles add up to 180 degrees. Angle F plus angle E equals 180. How could I solve for X?
91x plus 89
91x plus 89
equals 180.
equals 180. Subtract 89 from both sides. Yeah.
don't think I got
You get 91.
Okay, that's all right. Thank you. You can have your phone back, and I will read this here in a little bit. If you want to see the notes we took while you were taking that, I'll let you look at that page.
Why'd you take his phone? You didn't take our phone.
Well, because whenever y'all were taking the quiz, I was able to sit and watch, but we're doing
Okay.
notes, so, you know.
I was just messing with you.
Okay, so I subtracted 89 from both sides.
You get 91.
It says, you said 91?
Yep.
Equals 91.
Right? Equals 1.
Then x equals 1. Okay, so this should be pretty easy to solve for f now. What's angle f? 91. 91 times 1. So angle f is 91. What's angle h?
91.
91. What's angle g?
89.
89. Good. We get the idea? Okay. Now, some of these, because of the way the picture is drawn, it can be a little bit tough to tell whether they are opposite or consecutive. For example, number 4, we have a larger value. This is angle U. T. So as you're going through this worksheet, if you're having any trouble deciding which angle is being labeled, just let me know. You can ask, and no big deal.
So when they're not consecutive, wouldn't you equal it with 360?
Yes, yes. So let's find one that's, or not equal 360. Hang on, let me find one that's not consecutive so that we can do an example of that. That's a great question. Let's look at number 5.
Is it number 4 not consecutive?
Number 4 is consecutive. And we just did 2 that were consecutive.
Oh,
so
you're
I'm looking
talking
for
like
one that's opposite now.
diagonal.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
So now I have for number 5 on the second page, opposite angles. And remember, opposite angles
Are supposed to be.
are equal. Yes. So we will set up a different kind of equation for this problem. Opposite angles. Angle R is equal to angle T. So what equation would I write to solve for B?
78 equals 16x minus 2.
Yes, 78 equals 16x minus 2. And we can solve for x that way. So plus 2 plus 2. 80 is equal to 16 times x. 5 by 16.
And you get 5.
And we get 5. Good. X equals 5. Perfect. So angle R is 78. Angle T is equal to that, so it must also be 78. How could I find the measure of the other 2 angles, angle U and angle S?
Oh, I'm having a little bit random.
That's okay. If they're not opposite, so you really only have 2 options here. If they're opposite, we set them equal to each other. If they're consecutive, we add them and set them equal to 180. So if I wanted to solve for S or for U, I would just solve for one of them first, and then I know that it's equal to the other.
So 78 plus S equals 180.
Yes, 78 plus S equals 180. Subtract 78. And we'll get S equals, let's see, that's 102, right? I think so. And so if angle S is 102 degrees, what's angle U?
102.
102. There you go. Okay, so we've tried one of both types that you might see in this worksheet.
Will this be on Google Classroom?
Yes, yes, it will be. We're videoing this right now, so everything that you didn't get to hear while you were taking your quiz, this will all be on Classroom today.
And YouTube. Don't forget.
And YouTube, yes. Okay. Okay, so what I would like for you guys to do now is, let's see, I'm gonna set a 20-minute timer. In that 20 minutes, I want you to try to solve at least 5 more questions. So I'm gonna write some directions. I want you to solve for X like the direction says, but I would also like you to solve for every angle, all 4 missing angles. Okay, so let me write that. Solve for X and solve for all missing angles. Okay, so I will set a timer and we'll see how far we get. Okay, our timer just went off, so let's look at our answers here. You guys do number 3, or did you start moving from page 2?
Definitely page 2.
Okay, let's start from page 2 then. So let's look at number 6. Number 6. I have 46 plus 2x, and I have 46. So x is going to have to be 0, isn't it? Did you guys get 0 for x on number 6?
I think so,
Good.
yes.
Okay. Do you guys know why I was able to look at this and tell right away that it's 0?
Because 46, like, U is 46 and then W is 46. So
Right.
like, and 0 is 0, like 0 times 0, yes.
Right. These are equal because they're opposite. And if I know that they're both 46 degrees, well, there's already a 46 right here plus something. I got to get rid of that. Only thing that'll get rid of a number is 0. So x equals 0. Okay. Let's see. Number 7. Are these equal to each other or are they going to add up to 180? We're looking at U and S.
Add up to 180.
So add up to 180. Are they the same angle or are they different? I'm going to look at my markings. Because if we remember back to the notes we took, angles that are opposite, right across from each other, should be equal to each other. And angle U and angle S are opposite angles. We can tell that from our arcs. So if I wanted to solve for angle T or R, I would add them up to 180. But U and S, we're going to set these equal to each other. So let's work through this problem. I have angle U is equal to angle S. What equation could I write knowing this fact? What could I plug in for U and S? What do you think, guys? What equation would I write? Banning phones in here, y'all. Yes, Dustin.
Well, you already read the equation, so.
Yeah. What am I plugging
Plug the
in?
numbers in.
Yeah, just plug them in. What's U? 17x minus 5. Thanks, guys. It's 17x minus 5.
Equal 15x plus.
Thank you. Equals 15x plus 5. Good. Okay. And now what happens? You're okay. You're okay.
Subtract 15 from 17.
Yeah, let's subtract that 15x. And 17x minus 15x is
2x.
2x. Good. And everything else comes down. Minus 5 equals 5. Now what?
Add 5 to both sides.
Good. Add 5. Add 5. 2x equals 10.
Divide by 2.
Divide by 2.
X equals 5.
X equals 5. Good. Okay, so my x is equal to 5. Can I solve for angle U or angle S?
Yeah, you just plug it in where the X is.
Yeah, let's plug it in. So I'm just going to use, I don't know, I like 5s better than the 17. So I'm going to do 15x plus 5. And I'm going to plug in 5 for x. So what is 15 times 5?
75.
Let's see. I'm going to type that in.
Think.
Yeah, 75. You're correct. 75 plus 5
It's 80.
is 80. So x is 5. Angle S is 80 degrees. What else is 80?
U.
U is 80.
And then to solve for R or T, you just put R or T plus 80 equals 180.
Yes. So I know that consecutive angles, or the angles right next to each other, add up to 180. So I'll do R and S. R plus S equals 180. S, we just solved for. That's 80. So R equals
100.
100.
So,
So what's, yes, so T is 100. Good. Very, very good. Okay. Let's look at number 8. Number 8. Are these angles T and R equal to each other, or do they add up to 180? They're equal. They're opposite angles, so they are equal. R is equal to T. So 100 is equal to 25x. So we'll solve for x. Divide by 25 on both sides. And we'll get x equals 4. Okay. What is angle T? What's the measure of angle T? I know angle R. What would angle T be in degrees? 100. It's opposite. It's equal. So that's 100. What about angle S and angle U? 80. It's just like the problem right before it. We have opposite angles that are 100, opposite angles that are 80. So these are 100. Those are 80. Good. Good. Okay, so we've ran through a few opposite examples. Let's See, are there any problems on here that any of you would like to see worked out? Or are there any answers that you want me to give you so that you just know if you got it right or not? You want us to run through the answers and see how we did? Let's do that. I'm going to start from the very first page and just run through every single answer so that you have the answers in your notes. That way, if you do some practice, you can go back and check your work. Let's see. Let me find my answer key. Okay. So number 1, we did get x equals 9. Number 2, we got x equals 1. Number 3, you should get x equals 9. Number 4, you should get x equals 8. Go to the next page. Number 5, we did together. We found that x equals 5. Number 6, x equals 0. Number 7, x equals 5. We did that one together as well. Same with number 8, x equals 4. Moving on to the next page. Number 9 is x equals 3.
Yes.
Yay! Number 10, x equals 7. Number 11, x equals 6. Number 12, x equals 1. Next page, we're on page 4, number 13, x equals 2. Number 14, x equals 5. Number 15, x equals 8. And 16, x equals 2. Next page, page 5. This is the last page. Number 17, you'll get x equals 4. Number 18, x equals 7. Number 19, x equals 1. And number 20, x equals 10. Okay. Right, guys? Those are all the answers. And here they are all listed out in case you missed any of them. It's Thursday. It is the last day of the first half of this term. So, that being said, you're going to get a little break today. It's just like midterms. I know some teachers will give a midterm, and then once you finish the midterm for the week, you don't have to come back. We didn't do a midterm, but we did just finish Unit 2, and we've started Unit 3. So, that's going to be it for the first half of geometry. Okay, you guys, before you go, I'm going to give you what your overall grade is in the class, and I will let you know if you have any assignments missing. And once I've given you that grade, you are free to go. You're also free to stay if you like, but I'm not keeping you. So I'm going to end our recording, and that is it for today. Stick around so that you can see what your grade is.